All right, we are back, and it is not 2 in the morning, so that is awesome. Yeah, hope everybody is well. I mean, first and foremost, peace and this prayers to all that's going on right now in the Middle East and in Ukraine too. Can't forget about that. But anyway, we are going to get the play as Israel, and so first we're gonna do a little catch up real quick, just because it is the 16th of January, so we did do actually quite a bit in the first 16 days. And we are getting dog food Netanyahu. No disrespect, just wanted to find something that rhymed with Netanyahu, but we'll go by Netanyahu. Been the leader here for a while. Anyway, let's jump into it, right? Monday. It's about 1 o'clock here, so some of the first things we did were go ahead and hand out some money to our police force, our security force. We're going to talk about that a lot with Israel. You guys know why. Took care of some foreign refugees, so we did help with some Syrian refugees. You'll see that in the paper. Couple bad, well, not bad things, but a couple things that the public didn't like too much as far as finances. We'll go through some of that as far as policy. Let's take a look here. State employees, once again, we're going to be taking care of our state employees, taking care of the administration. And once again, we'll go through that. Good statements in the press. So we're doing good. We started out at 50%, and now we're at 61%. Still trending really well. If we look at our office book, our schedule here, we've met with a lot of lenders. Russia, Germany, the UK. Just once again, we're going to work on consolidating that debt, right? Getting that debt down, getting the interest rates down. And so that's been going well. I don't think anyone's turned us down yet. We've been able to work on that. We'll jump to the paper real quick. Our first paper, there it is. Syrian refugees. So yeah, obviously we know how we feel about Syria. Pretty icy, pretty hostile, but we do stand with the people because we do believe the people. A lot of them are there, they're kind of stuck there. You know, we know how it feels to be born somewhere and have to deal with what's going on in that area. So we did also start our whole diplomatic campaign to start getting a one Middle East together is what we're going to be calling it. We'll get into that a little bit later, but we did start with Greece, getting some more money to them to grow their economy. COVID is basically over, which is great. That was a pain in the butt to deal with. Pay increases to our awesome police force. Yeah, appreciate them for everything they do. And then we got just a mention of our popularity going through the roof there for a couple weeks. And then just the most recent paper so that we can stay up to date here. We did also donate some weapons to Ukraine. So we do stand with Ukraine. But we'll just say that we're not just frivolously dumping our budget into Ukraine, though. Like some of our friends. Okay? We're Israel. We get to say what we want. I mean, a couple elections. We're going to keep an eye on that internally, not too much globally. And then I believe we did give the entire liquor sector. I believe we gave the whole liquor sector back to the private sector basically, but we'll check all that. And we do have, you can see we have a couple criticism. We did get some criticism from the jihadist movement, I believe. And so we'll just keep an eye out for that. We're gonna go through we're gonna have to learn all the politics of Israel and all that. So that'll be pretty fun. Learning what works, right? So this first year, obviously Netanyahu would know, but we're gonna be working on a whole new campaign, whole new ball game. And so let's see, we're gonna get a slow tick here. Very nice and slow. We'll probably be doing a lot of pausing. I'll probably do a couple, right? We gotta get into the government still a little bit, how it works, and what the people want. And so if we get into our budget here, just real quick, not too bad at all when we're going kind of against the, we're looking at the United States usually. And so deficit is going up because we did spend quite a bit of money just in these last 16 days. Wow. And so structural deficit is a negative 0.2. Budget deficit in billions, so we're at 1.1. So 1.1 billion, not too bad at all. We're going to be able to handle that. But we're also going to be wanting to spend money too. So we're going to see how we're going to do that. Right now, Social Security is our top priority. It's 33% of our budget right now. At about 1 trillion that we are spending. And so that is good. We like that. Social Security is important. Defense is right underneath that. I like that. But we're going to still, we're going to even these numbers out a little bit more. Defense is at 85 million. That needs to go way up. 16% of our budget. We're going to be talking about defense.
Our infiltrated agent is on site. His first report confirms that his cell is operational and has carried out some preliminary tests as set out by the usual protocol with a view...
Alright. Looks like our intelligence agency is letting us know the Afghanistan operation is going well. We like that. We're going to continue with that. Keeping an eye on the east. Supply of equipment for the infantry. Prime Minister, just to remind you, if you wish to increase the number of personnel in our infantry, we have to plan for the purchase or production of their equipment and armaments. So, just the Minister of Defense letting us know we do need to be prepared. If we do call up more soldiers or enlist more soldiers, we need to make sure they have the equipment, obviously. So, we know that. High velocity missiles, that's another thing from the Ministry of Defense. Something we're going to be concerned about. These are missiles that are extremely hard to detect and to deflect. So don't worry, we'll be getting into defense huge. And so defense, once again, 16% of the budget. We might even flip that. We are going to be our entire country is going to be a war machine. And no one, eventually, the goal is no one is going to... no one that's not a fool is going to even think about raising an eyebrow at Israel. We want to become one of the great powers. If not, it's a very tall task, I know, since we have this giant here. But we do want to become one of the main powers of the Middle East, and one of the main actors too. One of the kind of the policing main poles of the Middle East. So we're gonna see how we can do that. It's a big task. We're gonna have to wipe some people off the map, possibly. We'll see. Let's see how the bank likes us. Ooh, very nice. So the bank is in very good relations with us. So keep an eye on the budget, the debt. Take a quick look. Yep, debt is also going up. We had a surplus, and we do still have a surplus, but that is going down. We're at about 4 million. Yeah. Wait, no, give me one sec. 400 million, sorry. So, Operation Jordan.
Our infiltrated agent is on site. His first report confirms that his cell is operational and has carried out some preliminary tests as set out by the usual protocol.
Okay, awesome. We also have another operation in Jordan that is also going well, and we can see that there's some activity there. Minister of Health is letting us know. Oh, issue of surrogacy. So, some are on the side of it. On the other hand, there's others who see that there's an ethnic flaw to it. So exploitation of a woman's body. and then legal battles over children. So that's a really personal issue. We're going to be on the... In fact, let's take a quick look. In fact, let's take a look at Parliament. I kind of want to see exactly where we stand here. Okay, conservative liberal. Perfect. So yeah, we're gonna be a little bit less government in the sense of impersonal lives, but probably a lot of government in the sense of defense, which I think will make sense for us. Taxes. Wow, the value-added tax is pretty low, 17%. That's something we can definitely manipulate if we need to, but that is our highest income, our biggest money getter right there. Because that is about $2 trillion, I believe. Maybe 22. Or is that? Maybe not. It is Israel, so our budget's a lot smaller than the US. I mean, still big numbers. That might just be 222 million. So, either way, income tax is next, and then followed by wealth, and then inheritance. So, a lot different demographic. Vehicle tax. In fact, actually, oh no, it looks like it's not in order. So, company tax. Another big one, too. So, we'll go through here if we have to. We know we need to take taxes very slow, very carefully. And then as far as the creation of taxes, that'll all be things we need to do in case we need to balance the budget or grab some cash real quick. Ooh, budget's going down. That might change. We do want to be able to spend some money.
And the law has been passed.
Nice. Awesome. One of our first bills, law on the number of surveillance cameras, which we have increased. We're going to be doing a bunch of security measures, internal and external. Okay, so real quick, I just want to check our inflation, 452. Looking pretty good, somewhat stable. We'll see if we can knock that down still a little bit. Wow, key interest rate is insanely low. 10%. That's insane. That's awesome. And that can go up a little bit too, possibly, to chase the inflation, but we might be able to keep the people happy and keep that low. Civil servants, that's another big thing. The police will be focused on. The army will be focused on research. In that order. Everything else will follow as well. Alright. All this we'll leave alone for now as we're taking along. We went in and did subsidize a couple things. But we're going to start getting into our agenda here. Looking at the stock market here. We have a steady decline. Check at the growth. Yeah, growth did go down quite a bit as we're going to be borrowing a lot more money. Ooh. Trade balance is positive, and that is also something we're going to be paying attention to a little bit more as Israel. We want to find our niche, you know. I know we don't have a ton of natural resources, but we're going to find what we're good at, and we're going to sell it, and we're going to be the best. And so we want to compete. So we'll keep an eye on that. Price of oil is at 82 right now. I think that's actually fairly healthy. But we will keep an eye on that, which means we have to keep an eye on Iran and these guys. Egypt. Okay. And so, as we're ticking along, we're just waiting to see some things from our constituents, from our people. But some of our main agenda, especially for this year, but kind of continuing on, and we'll kind of go into our strategic map here. Excuse me. So, here we are. Beautiful Israel. And so we are not dumb. We have been using intelligence, right? We've been watching the world. We've been watching since the United States pulled out of Afghanistan. They're on everything since the war in Ukraine and such. And so we are going to not be a militant state, but our main concern right now is to take care of our enemies. And that means diplomatically first, probably once and for all. And then it's time to make military moves. So, but on the other side of that, there's people that we do want to work with, and there's people that we need to put in a lot of work with. And so, one of those people will be Egypt. And we want to work with Egypt because if we click on Egypt, we can see who they're friendly with, and they're friendly with everybody that I want to be friendly with so far. Iraq. Not Syria, though. We're not going to count Syria in that. And we'll figure that out a little bit later on. But Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and the southern parts of Saudi Arabia, we're not entirely too concerned with, only with the immigration side of it. But if Saudi Arabia is okay with them, then we're cool with that. That could work to our benefit. But I'm going to pull out here a little bit. I do wonder... Okay, I wanted to see... They're about neutral with the United States. And that's a relationship that also could probably grow. But interesting to see. Okay, Kakistan, I like that too, because I'm already planning on working with Kakistan, hopefully for uranium. Armenia, okay. So yeah, Egypt is one I want to work with, besides who they're cool with, and besides who they can work with, just the strategic location. I mean, they're right to our southwest. They have quite a good grip on the Mediterranean, and we'll look at the military map a little later.
Our infiltrated agent is on site.
Okay, another cell in Russia. We're going to go ahead and improve that, and another cell in Libya. So research and the intelligence department are going nuts, and that's what we love to see. 21st of January, just a little date check there. But yeah, so strategic location, the Egyptian military is also pretty powerful. Much more powerful than ours right now, we will say, but that's going to change. 458,000 ready to go. Take a quick look at their economy here. Slightly less GDP than us. A little bit better growth as far as right now. 12 regions. So it is a big country. Lots of land. About double the inflation we have. And just a massive amount of debt compared to us. So they do have a pretty good deficit, but they're still able to do, I think, a lot more than us, and they are a military regime, so, and authoritarian, so there are people we can work with. We are pretty dark red with them. I'm gonna do my best to turn that around. Real quick here, Saudi Arabia, as we're ticking along slowly. Saudi Arabia, also pretty good relationship with Egypt. Very good relationship with Jordan. I really like that. Jordan's my next door neighbor. I'm hoping us and Jordan can get a military alliance going here pretty quickly. It'll probably be the first country we do. Neutral with Turkey. Turkey's another big player in this. I don't like that. I don't like that they're unfriendly with Iraq and friendly with Iran. It's going to be a big problem for me. Because us and Iran, we're done. We're done playing games. And people are going to have to pick sides here eventually, pretty soon. We'll get into that later. Turkey is another one. And Turkey is one, and that is also will require a little bit of work. But they are very friendly with Iraq, very friendly with Jordan. A lot of trade there. even if it is military things. Oh, Qatar down there. Very nice. All right. Looks like Ariel is talking to us, Human Sharing and Solidarity Foundation president. Talking about accepting refugees in... Oh, wow. Wants to accept more refugees from Syria. It's going to cost about 53,000 of the Israeli dollars per refugee. Now, we need to be smart, right? We're going to be very physically smart, very physically responsible, unless it comes to the military, where we believe the cause is justified. So, just note that there. The United States discovers the self-fragrant fiber. Nice. So, United States research is going well. We like to hear that the United States is going well. They are one of our greatest and most powerful allies. Saudi Arabia has just created a new space program. Nice. So once again, all the people that we do want to work with are doing well so far. That's all good news to hear. We're not going to be getting into the space race as Israel right now. Not a big priority. Nice to see those deserts again. So, we will be working with, once again, just Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey. And that's as far as the close regions right now. Syria, it's going to be very hard to trust Syria and their government. Same as Iran. Now, the big, probably one of the bigger questions, Palestine. What are we going to do about Palestine? Short term, we need to maintain peace for our people's sake, right? For our economy's sake. And that's going to be a tender issue. I don't, let's go back into this map real quick. So I was just going to say that I don't want to make peace with them, but that's, it'd be kind of irresponsible. Let's see. Okay, wow, they're really aligned with Egypt and Jordan and Syria. Oh my goodness. Okay. We shall see. We're not going to go the pacifist route.
Our infiltrated agent is on site. His first report confirms that his cell is operational and has carried out some
intelligence. Very busy here. We are in the rock, as we will call it. As far as our kind of our version of our Pentagon and the Situation Room. And
I would like to talk to you about ground-to-ground
artillery.
artillery.
Oh yes, we already know about that. Thank you, sir. Chief of Army letting us know about the ground-to-ground artillery. We're going to be getting into all that. No worries. But yes, our cell in Turkey is going as well. And before we get into this paper real quick, it is now the 23rd of January. Syria and Iran. Now Syria is dark red for Palestine. They're very, very aligned with Syria. Makes sense. Strong presidency. As Palestine, I would kind of argue against that. I would say more authoritarian. But if making peace is what's best for our people, then that's what we'll try to do. But you can see how difficult it's going to be with the conflicting relationships here. So we need to also kind of try to find a leadership role and try to get people once again to pick sides, or everyone needs to get along, right? But that's probably most likely not going to happen. So 23rd, the United States is in the front page with their discovery of the good smelling fabric. Looks like comedians out here making fun of us. Awesome. 17th, we had the Jewish flag adorning all the buildings. Got some awesome public things going on for the Jews. And the successful, famous Jews, so that's good for us. Okay. Taking a quick look here. Lots of political things. Wow. 23rd in Israel, blasphemy against the Jewish community is punishable by a $10,000 fine. So we actually stand right behind that. We stand against any kind of discrimination against any religion. None over any others, but that's kind of just where we stand. So got to make a hard stance on that, right? And so we'll get a cool quick tick on that. And one of the first things we can go in here and take a quick look at is our cabinet. Just want to make sure we're doing good with all our internals first, right? Before we start making any big decisions. Just want to take a quick look at how our cabinet is doing with us and our people. So, Vice President, Foreign Affairs are all about 50-50 so. Minister of Finance is good with us. Defense is good. If anybody is red, then that is something we definitely need to work on. If anybody's doing something we don't approve of, we get rid of them. We deal with it right away. So let's look through here. Everybody is really solid. Awesome. Great. Political party is looking great. We do have a coalition of parties here. National Judaic. A lot of religious groups. We're going to be dealing, I'm sure, with a lot of religious groups. And we'll probably be in the religion tab for some of the first times ever. Very good there. There's our political tendency there. Conservative rightist. So that's kind of how we'll play. So we're good. Cabinet's doing well. Looks like our house's order as far as internal. I'm going to check Parliament one more time. I want to see how much control we have. That's another thing. We do need to handle our politics, make sure we handle our power. One of the goals we're going to have is consolidating, right? We're going to try to start grouping some of these little fractions, these little splinters. We're going to view that as weakness, right? We want some more unity. And so that's something we'll work on. All this stuff, I know it's going to be hard. It's going to take time. But we have big goals for Israel. And I think we want more power in the parliament, that's for sure. We're sitting at 27%. And we have 3 parties directly to deal with within our majority. And then 3 and 3. So yeah, wow. 3 on each side and 3 within. Lots of little fractions. So we do want to try to unify, and we're gonna work. Interesting. Yeah, social, Muslim League, conservative rightist, extreme right. Wow, everybody's like to the right. Interesting. And we do have a socialist front with 4% majority. The pioneering Muslim party, which is a religious party, 401,000 people, 400,000 members or sympathizers, I guess. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. We don't want to start crushing religious groups. That would be a bad idea. But yeah, that's another goal. That's probably more the main goal this year. We don't want to spend too much money. We do want to be conservative. Let's work on our political power. Let's work on slowly building up the military. Take a look at oh yes, our organization. So that's another thing, which will be huge. I think it'll be a little bit more important too, as we are still in the middle as far as our economy. We have to admit, as far as borrowing, how much do we want to borrow? Do we want to be careful? But you know, being careful takes time, and as we are careful, other people might not be, and so we want to keep up. That means joining, playing the game basically a little bit. We don't play games too much, but in order, we have to realize we are a small country, right? We're small. And we're surrounded by a lot of people who don't like us. That means joining big countries and organizations that are backed by millions and billions and trillions of dollars, strong dollars, right? Strong dollars, that's another goal too. Big goals, lots of goals as president, but we want to either make the Israeli dollar stronger or possibly even switch to something else, which would be huge. But anyway, the organizations that we're currently in, we are in the World Health Organization, or recognized by the World Bank, the UN, the IMF. And so organizations that we could join, we'll take a look here and see. Our Minister of Defense. Oh, talking about suicide drones. That's a great idea, especially if we can get them for a great price. So we'll be working on contracts, no problem. And we're coming up on 30, so I'll net it here soon and do another one. But an organization that we might want to join, which would be pretty major. And I do want to take a look here, make sure we're not already part of them. But I believe, yep. Yeah, so we are not a part of NATO. That would be a very big step for Israel, becoming part of NATO, getting some of that, almost guaranteed protection. Another one, an international criminal court is another one we might want to join. And then also, if we can make the right deals, we could even sneak our way into OPEC. So the G7 is also another one. Some of these main corporations and unions that you might want to call them, organizations, Israel we kind of view as somewhat unnecessary in ways, but we do recognize the power that comes behind them and the unity and all that kind of stuff. So G7 also, G20, they're also up for grabs as we talk with our advisors, right? Talk with our people as well. EU is probably not, just because that's kind of a mess. And so, yeah. We'll see how it goes. I think, yeah, we'll go in next time. Once again, we don't want to make these too long. We're going to continue on, probably do a fast tick. And we will start with debt. So we're going to go in, take a quick look at our aid, who we're giving money to that we shouldn't be. That doesn't really probably deserve it. Reallocation of some funds. We're going to get some money things going first. All right. Yeah. Glory to Israel.